Mechanic Chicks, I'm going to give you a breakdown of how an engine works. So when you turn the key on to start the vehicle, you're going to get an electrical charge from the battery that goes to the starter. It shoots out a pin that hits the flex plate that starts everything moving. Then you're going to have the fuel injector put a little bit of fuel into the cylinder. The spark plug will get a jolt from the battery to ignite, which then ignites the fuel, which then creates gas in the cylinder head to push the piston down. And when the piston comes back up, that force creates friction and makes everything start moving. Now, each piston is in a cylinder. So if you've heard of cylinder misfires and whatnot, that has to do with either the spark plug, the coil, if it has that, or the fuel injector having a malfunction. Since each piston is in its own cylinder, you can always determine if there's a problem with a particular cylinder or if it's a more widespread issue. Now, in this particular style of engine, we have a bank 1 and a bank 2 because of the fact that it's split up on either side. Because it's a V8, we have 8 cylinders, 8 pistons. Higher up, where the pistons need pressure from the lifters and the valves and whatnot, we'll go into that in a later video, but just to give you an overview, higher up is the camshaft, and that's a metal rod that everything is attached to and provides the right pressures to open, close, move up and down. At the bottom is the crankshaft, and that's the metal rod that all the pistons are connected to and moves up and down, which is why the harmonic balancer pulley is so important to keep that centered and balanced on the engine. Because if those were to go out of alignment, bad things happen. Like a piston going through the side of the block. At that point, the engine is done. There's nothing you can do. So once the engine is running, the serpentine belt is moving along, charging everything that needs to be charged. The motor oil comes from the pan and is pushed up via an oil pump to move throughout the entire engine to make sure everything is properly lubricated. That's why oil changes are so important, to make sure there's lubrication. These parts are running at hundreds, over 500 degrees. You definitely want to make sure that they're lubricated. And that's also why coolant is so important, to keep the engine cool enough so that things don't melt. So coolant will also be moving through the engine as well. As you can see, there's only so much I can explain without more stuff attached, but hopefully that gives you an idea of what's going on. Thanks for watching.